Yeah, David Magazine Malamud. Yeah.
Well, I gotta get Muhammad.
You know, it's Hebrew. It should be Muhammad, but you know.
Yes, I get Muhammad.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Muhammad.
Malamud is how we've inherited it, but.
Testing, testing, testing.
And the good stuff just for me.
Yeah, we'll do it together.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, 2024.
Prime vintage.
Now your wife is coming tomorrow?
Yes, they are. Yes. Very excited. Very excited. Yeah. They'll be quite some fun.
You walked today? You went to a walk and a golf game broke out.
No.
Yeah, you played well yesterday.
Mountain, perfect. Yeah.
You did play well.
That's fine.
I faded.
You're already
at the end. I
forgiven.
was tired.
Do I have time?
swing the
My
club.
water bottle's in the car.
Wait till you get to be my age.
That would be perfect. Yeah.
Then you'll know how the,
I'll make it a double.
18 holes 2 days in a row.
If you could.
Do you have 720?
Oh, you have another one.
Well, I left the David on that side.
Oh, okay.
Now you got 3 more.
Now I got. I'll need it.
It's okay.
It's good for the voice. It's good. Something I really need to get, which I haven't. I need a good Shabbos watch. Because normally I have a smartwatch whenever I don't like to use it on Shabbat.
Yes.
It's good to know this has the time.
Yes.
I like to keep it punctual.
Yes. Yeah, we like to start on time.
Perfect.
Even if we don't have 10 Saturday morning right off the bat.
Right.
We'll start at 9:30.
Great. We'll be here at 9:15.
Yes.
Yes.
So where are you?
DC originally. Today I drove from Cambridge.
Where do you live in Canada?
Near Alewife, near Fresh Pond.
The apartments over there? Or near the station?
Yeah, actually, right, very close to the fire station.
So it's Ringe Avenue? Is Ringe Avenue? It's not Ringe.
Not we're on Walnut.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know the area
Yeah,
well.
of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
I'm from Cambridge.
Oh, okay. Whereabouts?
Trowbridge Street.
I don't know that part of Cambridge.
Well,
Maybe
I had a
shame.
business. My family is from Cambridge. One side of Cambridge, and the other side was from Chelsea. So Cambridge and Chelsea. My mom was from Chelsea. My father was from Cambridge. And so you're on the Waldens as well? It's really nice up there.
It is. It's the guy we're renting
It's a
from.
nice community, a little community. Got little stores. Well, you got to walk a little bit.
Yeah, but it's close enough to Porter, and we're around the corner from Danny, and it's got a great playground. We walk the kids there every day. We just cross Garden, and we're there. It's
It's a
really
great spot.
beautiful. Yeah.
I have a friend who moved into that area just recently. Loves it.
We shouldn't be able to afford to live there. It's the apartment we live in is falling apart, which is why we can afford to live there. God willing, my wife makes good money. God willing, when I'm out of school, I'll make something as well. But the landlords grew up in the place. He's not a real landlord, but he's a very sweet guy. He's a mensch, and it's just been passed down. He's not Jewish. He's
That was
Yeah.
considered North Cambridge,
Right.
which was very Irish.
Right. Well, he's black, so
Oh.
yeah.
It was an Irish community, really.
Yeah.
Do you know Porter Square?
Yeah, of course.
You know where Porter House State?
Yeah.
Porter Square. I have a house on Cameron Street on the Somerville Cambridge line, down a little further down.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no,
I'm in Somerville too.
yeah. We love, the place is beautiful. We moved from Brighton, so it was definitely an upgrade. We used to be, I don't know how well you know Brighton, but we were right next to.
I've done combat.
Okay, so we were off Monastery, off of Washington Street.
I was just up on Summit Road. I love it up there.
Oh, yeah.
I love it there.
Yeah, we spent like 4 or 5 years in Alston on Kelton, right, very close to
All kids, all students.
Yeah, that's what we were when we got there. And we moved right next to Kadima Tourist Mission.
Also, it's combat.
Yeah. So, which
You
is
can say anything. I know. I pretty much know the area.
it's a sweet shul.
It is. I've been in it a couple of times.
Yeah.
They're still functional. I mean,
Yeah. They it's much smaller. They downsize. The new building is very nice.
I don't think I've been. I was in the older building.
Yeah. They finished construction on it a couple of years ago. I actually never went to the old building, just timing wise. You know, mechitza is not my normal flavor, but when you live 5 minutes away and the rabbi sees
easy.
you,
Yeah, it's easy.
the rabbi saw me walking the dog and he said, "You coming to shul?" And I said, "I guess I have to now."
What this temple needs is a rabbi with an approach, like to promote the young Torah. For instance, not the young Torah, do that well. It's the Lag Omas of the world.
Sure.
It's the, those type of things, adult education. We struggle without
Of course.
that's direction.
Yeah.
Direction. They're not certainly not gonna, from guys like me, and we try.
And I'm sure you do a lot to keep things going.
Yeah, from a standpoint of the service standpoint, yes. But I would, it used to be, Monday and Thursday service in the morning.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
Right.
So that's disappointing.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? This is my granddaughter was just bat mitzvah here a month ago.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. She's at Camp Tel Noah.
Okay. Yeah.
She's so I my 3 children were bat mitzvah here, and so we're committed to this place, and it's like our second home, and just think that without rabbis, who's helping us in areas that we have weaknesses.
Right. No, I
We have a bunch
understand.
of guys, people like me.
Right. People like you are what keep things, like, you are the people who make my job and Rabbi Perlman's job a piece of cake. Without you, we would be struggling. Trust me, I had my previous internship, I was in upstate New York. Mimi knows this, we talked about it. Glens Falls, New York. Tiny shul. It used to be big. It used to be huge. They can't even fill the sanctuary upstairs. They meet in the chapel downstairs. They don't have anyone there, and it shows.
She's coming in? Oh, she's in. She's going to be here with us. Okay, but I'm going to, after L'chadodi, when David is going to do L'chadodi, we do every other verse.
Right.
And then, Yeah, okay. Yes, boss.
Yep.
She's a friend of mine. She worked for me, but I guess I work for her.
That's how it works.
Okay, 7:30.
Are we? Which?
Welcome to our service. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Welcome to David Malamud, our intern.
Hello.
Welcome to our service. Welcome to our service. Yes, boss, all right, I got you. We begin with a song we all know. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
So we have some good news, and Mimi is going to be Vanna tonight.
I'm Vanna 3. So if you have any good news, you'll raise your hand, give me your name. I'm going to start first. I want to welcome our intern, David Magazine Malamud.
Malamud.
Okay.
I'll take it then.
Okay, he's currently a student at Hebrew College. He's currently a student at Hebrew College. I hope during the ONEG you'll go up and meet him. Welcome to our wonderful community. He'll be here tomorrow with his wife and children, so he'll come back again tomorrow. And who's got good news for me? I must have good news. Oh, I can always depend
Who
on
has
Esther.
good news?
Esther always has good news.
Tell us your name.
What's your name, please?
My name is Esther Kaufman, and our good news is that on Wednesday, Neil and I celebrated our 47th anniversary.
Yeah, Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Anybody else with good news? I must have good news.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do what you know.
Tell us your name, please.
Gail Silverman.
Hi, Gail.
Hi. Jeff Silverman over here had a birthday yesterday.
Wow.
Anybody else? Good news? Graduations? Anything?
This side of the room, anybody?
All right, no good.
You
no
have some
news?
good news over here. Sid has some good news.
Wait a minute, hold on. We have somebody. Please introduce yourself.
Larry Schumann, you seem to be really struggling to get good news. My good news is I have no bad news.
Baruch Hashem.
Yes.
There's no bad news.
So, be careful. Be careful. Or you shut it off? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mimi. So we begin our service on page 13 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We'll turn to page 14 for Yedid Nefesh.
Yedi nefesh av harachaman mishochavta el ritzona yarutavta kimoaya yishtachaveh el muhadara yeravlo yediduta nino fetzu vechotam adorna eziv haolam nafshi cholat avata ana elna refanala beharola noam ziva asitchaze vetitrape vehaitala shivchat olam vatikyehemu rachamecha vechusna al ben ahova ki ze kama niksof liro betiferet uzach ana eli machma libi chushana ve'al titalam yigalena ufros chaviv alai etzuka shelama Ta'eretz mikvoda nagila v'nismecha ba maher ahu kiva moed v'choneni kimei olam Yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai, yadadai-dai-dai-dai.
Sabbath prayer, Paula. At the bottom of page 14, Paula Dolan will lead the congregation.
A Sabbath prayer. Dear God, help us now to make this a new Shabbat. After noise, we seek quiet. After crowds of indifferent strangers, we seek to touch those we love. After concentration on work and responsibility, we seek freedom to meditate, to listen to our inward selves. We open our eyes to the hidden beauties and the infinite possibilities in the world you are creating. We break open the gates of the reservoirs of goodness and kindness in ourselves and in others. We reach toward one only perfect moment of Shabbat.
Shikoach. Now we turn to page 15 for L'chuna Ranana.
L'chuna ranana l'Adonai Nariya l'tzor yishenu Nekadma fanav b'toda Bizmiro Nariya lo
Asher biyado mechake aretz.
Asher lo
Shelo vayam behu asahu. Kihu Elohim. Hayam imekolo tishmahu.
Arba'im shana Akut bedor, va'omar am to'e levavhem, vehem lo yadu drachai, asher nishbati ve'api, im yavau el menuchati.
We turn to page 16 for the Psalm 96. Do we have somebody for that? No? So we'll do it responsively in English. Sing a new song to Adonai, acclaim Adonai, all people on earth. For Adonai is great, deserving of praise.
Adonai alone is to be revered as God. Majesty and might accompany God. Splendor and strength adorn God's sanctuary.
Acknowledge Adonai, all families of nation, acclaim God's majestic power, acknowledge God's glory, and bring him tribute.
Worship Adonai in resplendent reverence. Let the earth tremble in God's presence.
For Adonai is sovereign, judges all nations with fairness.
Let the heavens rejoice. Let the earth be glad. Let the sea and all it contain exult.
Let field and forest sing for joy. Adonai comes to rule the earth, to rule the world justly, the nations with faithfulness. Lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz, lishpot tevel b'tzedek, ve'amina be'emunato. Now we'll turn to page 20, and we will rise for Mizmor LeDavid.
Havu l'Adonai b'nei elim, havu l'Adonai kavod vos, havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim, el kavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayishaver Adonai et arzei alvanom. Vayarkidem kimo egel, levanom v'sirion, kimo vein re'emin. Kol Adonai chosev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai echol ayalot. Vayachasof Yerod uvehechalo kulo omer kavod, Adonai lamabu yashav, Yeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
You may be seated. We'll turn to page 21. For L'cha Dodi, are we doing every verse or every other verse?
Every other verse.
Every other verse, okay. Thank you, David.
L'cha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shem ol tiferet v'litila. L'cha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzei metocha hafecha, Rav lach shevet b'mecha bacha, V'hu yachamu aleichem la. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, pene shava nekabela. O lecha dodi likrat kala, pene shava nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva ore kumi ori, uri, shirda beri, kivod Adonai alaich migla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene shava nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene shava nekabela. V'hayu limshiso shoasai, v'rachaku kol mevalayik, yasis alayich elahayik, kimsos chatan hakala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene shava nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene shava nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emune gam segula, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene shava nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene shava nekabela.
You may be seated. The congregation extends our condolences to Suzanne Swartz and the entire Swartz family on the passing of our beloved Annabelle. Hamakom yinachem etchem b'toch she'och havlei Tzion Yerushalayim. May God comfort you together with all the other mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. Now we'll turn to page 23, and we will read in English the Psalm for Shabbat. Oh, we have, okay, Esther Kaufman will lead us. Sorry about that. I didn't see the program yet.
A song for Shabbat. It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God.
Your love each morning and your faithfulness each night, the music of the lute and the melody of the harp.
Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation. The thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this.
They flourish, springing out like grass, but their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever.
Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God.
They shall bear
Fruit even in old age.
They shall be ever
fresh and fragrant.
To proclaim Adonai
Just my rock, and in whom there is no flaw. So, thank you, Esther. 4 lines from the bottom on page 23, Tzadik Katama.
Tzadik Katamar Yifra, Keres Bavanon Yizkeh, Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechatzro Eloheinu Yafrichu Hod Yenuvim B'Seva Deshenim Verananim Yehu V'Hagid Ki Yashar Adonai Tzuri
tabo.
Page 24.
Adonai malach ge'u lavesh lavesh Adonai osi tazar aftikon tevel Baltimore nachon ki asachameas me'olam ata ay 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 nasu neot Adonai nasu neot kolam Yisu neharo doch yam ay 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 mikol amayim rabim adirim mishpereyam adir bamaram Adonai edotecha nemnu meod levetcha navakodesh Adonai leorech yamim.
Now, at the bottom of page 24, mourners and those observing Yortzeit, please rise for the mourners Kaddish, page 24. Yid Kadah, v'yid Kadash, Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yomar, Tivrach, Hirutei, v'yamlich Malchutei, v'chayechon, v'yomechon, v'chayei dechal Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'me'omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei dekudesha v'chu le'ela minkol bechata v'shivata tushbechata v'nechamata ta'amiram b'yomar v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mramav u'ya'aseh Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
So you may be. We'll all rise now. We'll all rise for the Baruch Hu. David will continue.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated.
Praised are you, Adonai our God,
God
who rules the universe. Your word bringing the evening dusk. You open with wisdom the gates of dawn. Design the day with wondrous skill. Set out the succession of seasons and arrange the stars in the sky according to your will. Adonai Tzivaot, you create day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness away from light. Eternal God, your sovereignty shall forever embrace us. Praised are you, Adonai, for each evening's dusk. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzivot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, amari baravim, ahavat olam beit Yisrael, Amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot, hukimu mishpatim, utanu limadeta. Aken Adonai Eloheinu, v'shokveinu v'kumenu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem hayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. עבדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 30.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'yavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivsecha v'eitecha v'leftecha v'derech v'shottecha v'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yedecha, ve'yulet otrafot b'neinecha, uvtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, v'hayim
Continue
shmati
silently on
shmati
page
shmati
30. Pick up again on page 31.
Yishem Eloh. Harav Adonai. Something with that. Yomer Adonai Moshe Lemor Daber El Bnei Yisrael V'amarta Lehem V'asu Lahem Tzitzit Al Kanfei V'gdehem L'Doratam V'natnu Al Tzitzit Haknaf Patil Tuchelet V'haya Lachem L'Tzitzit Uritem oto, zchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, v'asitem otam, v'lo taturu acharei levavhem, acharei anechem, asher etem zonim achareichem. L'man tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'aitem kedoshim Eloheichem. Ani Adonai Elechem, Asher hotzeti etchem eretz Mitzrayim, liot lechem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elechem, Adonai Elechem, Amen.
Page 32.
I'm at it, man. Umalchuto beraton kiblu alechem, Moshe v'nei Yisrael lachan shira b'simcha rabba v'imru chulam michamocha v'elim Adonai michamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef Malchut Charu Vanecha Bokeh Yam Lifnei Moshe Zeli Anu V'Amru
Adonai
Yimloch
Le'olam Va'ed.
V'nemar Kifad Adonai et Yaakov V'golo Miyad Chazak Mimenu Baruch Atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Hashkivin on page 33. We'll read together in the English.
Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us. Our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace, now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people,
Israel
and over Jerusalem. Ushmor tzeitenu, Aveinu l'chaim shalom etave ad olam, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
We turn to page 34 and we'll stand for the Vishamru, please.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
We'll remain standing for the Hatzi Kaddish, bottom page 34.
Yikadav Yikadash Me Rabba.
Amen.
B'ma divrachir tevi yom lichmachute v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedecho be'Yisrael v'aglav yizman kari v'imeru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam omeomayel yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitram v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalo Shmei de'kudsha. Rechu leila min kol berchata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata damiram b'alma v'imeru. Amen.
Our silent Amidah is page 35b, Amidah for Shabbat Ma'ariv, and we will add the personal prayers that you desire, and we will end with SHALOM on page 38. Yes. And then we'll do SHALOM. We'll do the English. Great. The English reading. Yeah. Page 38, when everybody's done. And we usually customary single session. On page 38, we'll read together in the English, middle paragraph. My God, keep my tongue from evil, my lips from lies. Help me ignore those who would slander me. Let me be humble before all. Open my heart to your Torah, and I may pursue your mitzvot. Frustrate the designs of those who plot evil against me. Make nothing of their schemes. Act for the sake of your compassion, your power, your holiness, and your Torah. Answer my prayer for the deliverance of your people. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, my rock and my redeemer. Oseh Shalom Bimramav. Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. V'imaru.
Amen.
May the one who brings peace to his universe bring peace to us and to all the people of Israel. Let us say, Amen. Now, prayer for healing. We do prayer for healing right now, and it's also on page 149, I believe. 144, sorry. And when I get to who Yivarek v'Rofei et, you give me the names of those people that you're wishing refuah shalema for. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, who Yivarek v'Rofei et Shaya Avraham ben Devar Matisyahu ben Benjamin. Any other names? Where are we? Be'kol ha'cholim be'kila kedosha hakadosh baruch hu yimalei rachamim alehem uchasikam urafotam v'yishlach lahem meira refuah shalema min hashamayim refuah hanefesh refuah haguf b'toch sha'ach alei Yisrael Shabbat hi milazog urofa kirova lavo hashta be'agala v'zman kariv v'noma. Amen. And we will now we will sing together. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Now we turn to page 47 for Vayechulu. Please rise.
Vayechu hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chol tzevam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto kivo shaba mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanara Elyon Konei Shamayim ve'aretz.
You may be seated.
Magen Avo Bidvaro Mechaye Meitim B'mamro Ha'el HaKadosh Ein Kamo Hameniach Le'amo B'yom Shabbat Kodsho Kivam Ratzah Le'haniach Lahem Kivam Ratzah Le'haniach Lahem Lefanav Navo B'dirafach Echad ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד מן הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעמדו שני עונג, זכר למעשה בראשית. אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, סבנו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעבדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, בנוחבה ישראל, מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
God shalom.
יקרא ויקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
במה דברכי ארתבי המלך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ומעומיה, יתברך ויתברך וישתבח ויתברך ויתפרם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה, ברכו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. תתקבל סלוטון ובעתון דכל ישראל קדם ובון דברי שמיא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
We rise for the Kiddush. Page 49.
Savri Maranan, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'alav ratzon hindchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit. Ki yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'charta, v'yotanu kidashta, v'kol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon hincholtanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
We'll remain standing. Page 149, would you like to read this?
Sure, whatever. Yeah, great.
Pray for the state of Israel on page 149.
Avinu Sheba Shamayim, Rock and Redeemer of the people Israel, bless the state of Israel with its promise of redemption. Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. We'll do a prayer for the hostages as well. Prayer for the hostages. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, Bless, preserve, and protect the captives and missing soldiers of the citizens of Israel and the Israel Defense Forces. May God rescue them from captivity and speedily restore them in peace, in the merit of the prayers of this holy congregation who pray for them. May the Holy One, blessed be he, show them mercy, increase their strength, remove their pain, and send them a recovery of body and spirit. May God return them to the bosom of their families swiftly and soon. And let us say,
Amen. Amen. So the Hornets Kaddish for Israel will all rise as the war is still going on in Israel. And as a congregation, we will say the Hornets Kaddish together. Yid Gadol, Yid Kadash, Shmei Rabbah,
Amad Divrachi, Artedi, Amrich Malchutei, Dechai Echon, V'yom Echon, Uvchai Edecho Beit Yisrael, Ba'galau V'zman Kariv V'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Nebrach Le'olam, U'me'omei, Barach V'yishtabach V'yipa'ar V'man V'yinaseh, V'yitodar V'yilo Shmei Dekucha, Brechu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Damiram B'ma V'yimru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. V'seh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru.
Amen. You may be seated. David has some words of Torah, I believe.
Brief
Brief
words.
words of Torah.
You forgot the most important part.
Brief, yes.
Brief.
Oh, thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for welcoming me to your beautiful congregation. I look forward to spending many Shabbatot with you all. Apropos of the prayer that we just said, I want to start this Dvar Torah with a story about resilience during the Holocaust in all places. In his autobiography, The Book and the Sword, Dr. David Weiss Halivni touches briefly on his time during the Holocaust. It's a short chapter. It's an autobiography of his life, and he really doesn't want to dwell on it, unlike Elie Wiesel, as we know from his memoir, Night, who recounts the rituals at length. David Weiss Halivni focuses on the rituals and routines that kept him going. Yeah, you heard me right. They had rituals and they had routines, even in that dark place. Every second Sunday, he said, was a Sunday off, in theory. The Germans would always find things to volunteer the Jews to do, so they rarely actually had a day off. But on the rare Sundays they got a break, they would study the second chapter of Mishnah Shabbat, Bameh Madlikin. You see, almost everyone had this chapter committed to memory. Bameh Madlikin is traditionally learned between Kabbalat Shabbat and Mariv on Leil Shabbat, every Shabbat night. When Halivni would falter in his memory, a rabbi would fill in the gaps. They would also take advantage of this moment to wrap tefillin. They even had tefillin in the camps. Halivni worked alongside a German civil engineer, digging tunnels to protect German munitions from Allies' bombings. This guy, Halivni describes with some stereotypical humor, he was German through and through. At the same time, every night, he'd eat some thinly sliced sandwich containing some gross, greasy substance that stained the wrapping paper and made it transparent. And one day, Halivni was shocked. He recognized the stained wrapping paper. It was a blettel, a page of the Shulchan Aruch. In fact, this was a page from the nicest edition, an edition that Halivni had always coveted, but never had the privilege to own. Halivni fell to the ground, instinctively propelled by the mere letters on the page. With tears in his eyes, he begged for the blettel. He explained it was a book that he had studied at home. He even begged for it merely as a souvenir. The German eventually, he didn't care, it was just his wrapping paper. He gave it to him. Halivni writes, the blettel became a visible symbol of a connection between the camp and the activities of Jews throughout history. It was not important what the topic was, whether agency or any other. In fact, it was this very long-winded halachic discourse about Yitzhak and Rivka and their marriage through a shaliach. But it didn't matter what was really on the page. It was symbolic. Who knows what mission we were supposed to fill there, he said. The blettel became a rallying point. We looked forward to studying it whenever we had free time, more so even than tefillin. And tefillin, that's a mitzvah. But this blettel, parts of which had to be deciphered because the grease made some letters illegible. That's what summoned their attention. Most of those who came to listen didn't understand the subject matter. It didn't matter, though. They all perceived the symbolic significance of the blettel. So you might be wondering, you might be sitting here saying, who's this new guy? He shares this depressing Holocaust story on Shabbat. Come on, read the room. This is a little way I want to show you a little bit about myself and my journey here. Prior to my time at Hebrew College, I was a PhD student at Boston University studying ancient Judaism. My advisor, Dr. Jonathan Klawans, was advised by Halivni, the writer of this memoir. Halivni was an Elui. This is a term for a Talmud prodigy, and he turned from prodigy to professor from the old country. He came from a small town in Transylvania. Much to the disappointment of my 2-year-old twins, he is not Count Von Count from Sesame Street, though they hail from the same region. For my comprehensive exams, Dr. Klawans assigned me his seminal work on Talmud, Halivni's work, but he cached this huge tome in Hebrew. He knew I wasn't going to read the whole thing, but he wanted me to try. He casually mentioned that I might enjoy this autobiography, The Book and the Sword. I'm eternally grateful to Dr. Klawans for this casual mention. It planted the seeds of doubt which I had about academia and helped me realize I needed to leave my PhD program. When I read this chapter for the first time, I had chills. They were both figurative, as I spent all of my undergrad learning this very Sidor Sim Shalom, and speedily, as fast as I could, trying to learn Bamei Madlikin, commit it to memory. But they were literal chills as well. You see, I first read the autobiography in a feverish fog in May 2020, when my wife and I came down with COVID. 2020 was a dark time for all of us, and I realized that Halivni's poignant anecdote was a survival guide, perhaps a variation of the Jewish survival guide. Our people and our community, our books and our stories, even the materiality of the Hebrew page can comfort us, even in the most challenging times. This rang especially true during the height of the pandemic, when our connection to our communities, Jewish and non-Jewish alike, was especially tenuous. It is easy to feel despair, and I encourage us to do so. It is part of what makes us human. But it is equally as important to establish routines, to build time of self-reflection. As the pandemic progressed, I began to question, should I complete this program? I was unable to connect with my ancestors through the PhD, through an academic context. I needed a new Torah discussion, a new blettel. Long story short, I left with a master's, but I couldn't stay away from school. So I went back to Hebrew College, to rabbinical school a year later. Now, by no means am I advocating that y'all quit your jobs on Monday and go to rabbinical school. Yeah. I mean, it's not so cheap. There's a rabbi shortage, though. You could make $1 at the end. Who knows? I'd love to have some of you as coworkers. Instead, I encourage you, maybe daily, maybe weekly, maybe every 2 Sundays, to reconnect with your people in person or on the page. Find your version of Bamei Madlikin, recited weekly, in your blettel, your symbolic tether to the past. What emotions do these symbols evoke? What is on your page that is so worn out, so covered in grease, that it takes time to decipher? I can guarantee that if you're in this room, or both in person or virtually, you have a connection point. Take a moment to think about it, to find it. With these rituals and equipped with these tools, we can survive in the worst of times, and we'll be able to thrive and dance in the best. Shabbat Shalom.
Nice words, really nice words. Thank you, David.
Of course.
Thank you, David. Page 51, I guess we rise for Eleno. Thank you, David, again. Yeshua.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, take it ula le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu k'gei haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot harama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, משתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמו ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Malkeinu Efesulato Kakatu B'Torato V'datayom V'hashevota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim Bashamayim Imo Ve'al haaretz mitachat einod. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar Ve'haya Adonai le'melech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad
You may be seated.
Alan knows my greatest fear is reading names in front of the kahal, in front of the congregation.
Yes.
But he assures me they're not so hard this week. This week we are observing the following yahrzeits: Barney Gitletz, Jeanette Newton, Sadie Herlick Salberg, Beatrice Sugarman, Barry Gilman, Gertrude Feldman, Dora Toby, Dora Lampert, Gussie Kornitsky, Dora Lampert. And we'll continue with Kadisha Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish.
Please rise.
Please rise, as is your custom. Yit Gadol v'yikadash Shmei Rabbah. B'amad yivrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh. V'chayachon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. V'agalah u'vizman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ome'am maya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei de Kutsha, Brechu, Le'ela, Minkol, Birchata, Veshirata, Tushbechata, Venechemata, Damiram, Belma, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei, Shlama Rabba, Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Oseh, Shalom, B'mrumav, Hu Yaseh, Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimru,
Amen. Announcements? I don't know who. Sid. Sid. Our own Sid Zimmerman has the announcement.
Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Saturday morning services begin at 9:30 a.m. Services are held every Sunday at 9 a.m., followed by breakfast and study. And every Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. All services are in person and virtual. No breakfast this Sunday. Congregants observing a yard site often request a minyan. These requests are listed in the weekly e-blast. Please help support your temple family members by attending the daily minyan. The Social Action Committee is serving at Haven from Hunger the second Monday of the month. Please let Elliot Weiner know if you would like to help volunteer. The next date will be Monday, July 14th. Learn to read Hebrew with Adele. Please reach out to Adele if you are interested. Upcoming August events, there's the Andrew Silverman Annual Golf Outing, Men's Club Mahi Cruise, the Sunset Cruise in August. Need to RSVP by June 30th. Please remember to RSVP for all events. Check the e-blast for all dates and times. You can sign up for all the events in the temple office or by clicking on the flyers on the e-blast. As you can see, there is a lot happening at TNT. Information about all events can be found in our weekly e-blast. Yes. And I guess the RSVPs are just a suggestion this week because it doesn't say that it's mandatory and they may run out of food. So, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Well, I wanted to thank David for coming here tonight all the way from, made the trip to up here to be with us.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, your youthful exuberance is terrific.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming, for joining us. And we conclude with a Yigdal on page 53.
Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishtabach nimtza v'eined al metziuto echad ben yachid keyichudo ne'lam v'gam ein sof le'achduto ein lo temut haguf eino guf lo naroch elav kedushato Kadmon lechol davar asher nivra Rishon v'enrichit l'reishito Hino Adon Olam v'chol notzar Yoreh gedulato malchuto Shefa nevuato netano El anshe segulato v'tifarto Lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe Navi umabit et emunato Torah emet natan le'amoel Aya nevio neman beito Lo yachalif ha'el v'lo yamir dato Le'olamim l'zulato Sofe v'yodea setareinu Mavit lasof davar b'kadmato Gomel li'ish chesed kemifalo Noten l'rasha ra karishato Yishlach l'ketz yamin mishichenu Liftot mechakeketz yeshuato Meitim yechayel berov chasto Baruch adei shem tehilato Meitim yechayel berov chasto Baruch adei shem tehilato.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Korach is, reading that's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I know I did. I just had everybody on there. I thought they'd go with that. I pressed the wrong buttons. So we do L'chaim Tovim, right? You can leave it out there.